you need to contact our office and we'll work with you 2022. First step, to arrive late, then you need to contact our office and we'll work with you to see what needs to be taken care of in terms of what your plans are academically. Sometimes there's a few different options. It may mean that we need to adjust your I-20 or DS 2019 to a later start date if you're arriving fairly, a few weeks into the semester, or you might be working with your department or the Office of Admissions to defer to an entirely different semester. That means you move your admission to a future semester. Or in some cases, students might choose to withdraw or cancel. If you do that, you need to contact our office before you withdraw or cancel. And also take a look at the registrar's cancellation or withdrawal information, because when you withdraw, definitely impacts your admission. It may impact tuition and fees that are assessed, and there's different deadlines. So just keeping in mind, there's some differences between arriving late and maybe not coming at all. So if any of these things are going on, first check in academically and see what your options are, and then contact our office and let us know what your plans are, and we can work with you on any adjustments that need to be made. Okay, so to start out, what type of visa do you need? So if you're coming here to study as a student, you're coming on a non-immigrant visa. And that is a visa status that is sponsored by your school. And there's two primary student visa categories. There's the F1 and the J1. And both of them allow you to remain in the US for the duration of your status. They each have different types of employment benefits. And on our website, if you're not sure which one is right for you, we have a website that compares both of the visa categories so you can determine which one is more appropriate. Most students are on an F1 visa. Some students are on a J1, which is an exchange visitor visa. You might be on an exchange program as a J1, or you might have government funding. The J1 has really specific requirements. So for most people, you're likely to be on an F1, but some of you will be on a J1. There's a few other visa categories that allow study, like dependent visas like H4, J2, E2, TD. But just so that you know, certain visa categories don't allow full-time study, and that's B1, B2, ESTA, and F2. F2 prohibits full-time study, but B1 and B2 and ESTA, those are all tourist visa categories. You're not allowed to study in a degree program at all. So if you're currently in the US on one of those categories, you're going to need to leave and change to student before you can study full-time. Okay, so moving on, what I'm going to get into now is the actual application process to request your documents from our office and then to apply at an embassy abroad for a visa if a visa is required for you. And finally, what you need to do to enter the US. So new students or readmitted students, if you are returning to Berkeley after a break, you need to submit the non-immigrant information form. You should see a task item in your CalCentral for the NIF, that's what we call it. If you click that task, it'll take you to the NIF and you have to complete that. That will trigger our office to issue you an I-20 or DS 2019, which is a certificate of eligibility to go and apply for student visa status. Once you get that I-20 or DS 2019, you can pay the CVIS fee, which is a government fee. We'll talk about it. Then, if you're applying for a visa, you're not Canadian, you will submit an online visa application called the Form DS-160 and pay a visa application fee. That's separate from the CVIS fee. Then you're likely to schedule a visa interview or appointment, attend the visa interview, and then if you're successful, receive the passport back with your visa. So let's get started on each of these steps. Okay, so first step is submitting the NIF. So the NIF is your first request to us to request your I-20 or DS 2019. I-20s are for F1s, DS 2019s are for J1s. The NIF processing time is 10 to 15 business days. For F1s, we will email your I-20 to you when it's completed. J1s, unfortunately,